Welcome to On Point, #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. That's David G. Evans 1. You can reach us. You can communicate with us on Facebook, and we're so glad to interact with you. We are all about talking about the things that are happening today, but always from a kingdom perspective. So you'll always have that God perspective in any conversation that we have. 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-743-8267, 1-866-74-EVANS. They were downstairs. They were telling me that they had no sound downstairs.
Yeah, on Facebook there's no audio.
In the lobbies at the kiosks. So maybe we can take care of that. So, a couple things I got questioned about. I know you're a little more up to date on it. Now, this whole signal stealing thing with the baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, they said the players were not benefiting from, so that's why they weren't disciplined. But I don't understand, why do you steal signals unless you're trying to make it easier for the players to hit?
Yeah, you call out a certain thing, curveball,
yes,
or a certain key,
yes,
so it's benefiting the players.
Yes. Ultimately, you steal signals so guys maybe can hit
Yeah.
the ball.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. They may not be in on it.
So they knew about it.
Or they knew,
I mean,
yeah.
if somebody telling you, okay, he's going to throw you a curveball,
Yeah.
you're in on it.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
I'm talking about like directly,
They were in on it.
They knew what was going on.
They benefited from it.
Yeah, they benefited from it.
But so initially they were acting like, we don't know anything about this.
Mm.
Well, who are they stealing signals for?
Right.
When I was playing baseball, if you told me this guy throws a curve every third pitch,
Yeah.
I'm setting myself up to hit a curveball.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you mean it didn't benefit him? But this morning,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, it's we knew about it, and problem was we couldn't hit the ball all the time.
Isn't that the whole premise?
We'd have the signal, and we still couldn't hit the pitcher. So that's supposed to make it better.
Isn't that the whole premise of the game? Is you're not supposed to hit the ball? They're supposed to pitch it the way you don't hit it, and
That's
vice versa.
the whole point of the game. The pitcher tries to make you miss the ball.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they even started this stupid argument that the only people responsible was the management or the coach.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but that
Ownership had to know.
Now they probably do, but they can play a trump and play. I don't know what's going on.
Because how do you put a camera out in the center field without ownership knowing what you're doing in their ballpark?
But see, I don't know all
I'm
the
just-
details of
I'm
what
just
happened.
saying.
I didn't research it. I'm not a big baseball
Camera in
fan.
center field taking pictures
Yeah.
of the catcher, telling him what to throw next.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could go back to the Bob Kraft thing. When the Patriots first had their one in the early 2000s,
Mm-hmm.
apparently, from what they were told, that he
Yes.
was upset
Mhm.
with Bill Belichick
Okay.
when he found out that he was taping the stuff.
He was upset.
So they played it like he
Apparently.
didn't know
Mhm.
what was going on. And his premise to Belichick was, did the tapes actually help you win the way you needed to? And Belichick said no.
You lying.
Now, one thing I will say, Belichick is a genius.
Mhm.
And he can scheme a game without a tape, without cheating.
But we don't know.
But
when
cheating
he was
does
doing
help
it.
him, though.
Of course.
It was, yeah.
He's a technical guy.
Yes.
So he's watching the schemes of the. You can't tell me that didn't benefit his game plan.
Oh, I'm probably sure some. But here's the thing. It's one of those things where he's actually smart enough to do it without doing it.
But he didn't choose to.
That's the thing. He has the intelligence.
Let me tell you why I think the NFL approached it the way they did. I think they're all cheating. So they decided when Kraft got cut, we need to shut this thing down because the rest of us are going to get nailed. Because those guys collude a lot.
Yeah,
They do things together to help each other make money.
sure.
They don't want the apple cart upset. I just, I don't think Belichick had just started cheating. I don't think the Astros had just started
No, all of them
cheating.
do.
I think, I was looking at this thing on YouTube yesterday about steroids and bodybuilding.
Mm.
This has been going on since the 30s.
Yeah.
The 30s.
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger's physique didn't get like that.
Yeah, but he tried to say he was all natural. He was
No,
lying.
No, he lying. It's like Sylvester Stallone now. I'm not saying he on steroids.
He doing some
He doing
growth
something.
hormone. He doing some growth hormone
Because
stuff.
he's like almost 70 and he looking
he
like
chiseled,
he's,
man.
Yeah,
He's doing some
come
growth
on,
hormones, doc.
yeah,
You can't.
yeah,
You
he-
can't get like that.
Yeah,
The problem with the growth hormone is it doesn't know what not to grow.
Right.
So, so meaning
Yeah.
your stomach grows,
Yeah.
your intestines grow.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know not to grow. So
Right.
you end up a lot of these professional bodybuilders have pot bellies now.
Yeah.
Literal pot bellies.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, but I guess the money that's at the end of these rainbows, people are willing to take these
They'll
chances.
do it all. And some people I talked to have done it before. They say all the up and down eating and the way you got to change it, way you eat to get that fit, it's not good for your body long term.
Well, no,
It's
especially
just,
when they do the get ready for the competition,
Yeah.
and have to get down to like 0.5
Yeah.
body fat and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and that's not good.
and all that carb overload and all that
Yeah,
stuff like that.
and they're
it's
using
not good.
insulin now for it.
Okay.
So the guys are injecting insulin.
Well, that's just like what's the race the runner from Canada that couldn't beat Carl Lewis.
Yeah,
Ben Johnson.
He went to anabolic steroids.
They were getting the stuff they give the horses.
Yeah,
The shots were for horses. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it helped them win, but
Ah,
it.
he had a third gear. He had a fifth gear that was
Right.
out of his world. I watched that race.
Yeah.
He went from like fourth to first in 100 meters. That's
Yes.
unheard of.
Right. So I mean, he had that, but again, that drive, almost what we've been talking about the past 2 weeks.
Mhm.
That drive to success.
Mhm.
If you're not careful, can have you skirting that line,
Absolutely.
and can have you taking some
Mhm.
immoral ways to get where you
To
want to
get
go.
there, and ways that are evidently can have a negative outcome on your body
Yeah.
later on in life.
Yep.
Because I think a lot of the, I know people don't talk about it, but was part of Walter Payton's problem.
They think,
Steroids.
They think because of that. Yeah.
Lyle Alzado,
Yep.
steroids.
Yeah. He admitted his. Yeah.
Florence Griffith Joyner
Mm-hmm.
was part of her issue. I mean, all these things come up,
Yep. They do.
you know. So I don't.
Yeah.
Now switching over, the impeachment process.
Mhm.
Have you been watching the Republican side?
Honestly, I haven't watched any of it.
Okay.
Because it starts today.
They
Mhm.
They're starting their arguments today, Republicans.
They're starting their arguments. So what have they've been doing for the last 2
It's
weeks?
been
House-
the House
yeah.
before.
The House Democrats.
But I thought they sent it over like last week or the week before
They
that.
did.
They
but
did.
They each have they have like a total of 24 hours to do their opening arguments.
Yeah.
It's been more than 24 hours.
Not, no.
She sent it over.
No,
Was it
she
this
sent
week?
It over,
This week or
was
late
it like
last week?
Tuesday or
Today's Saturday.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they did opening arguments for 2 days. First they did this whole thing with the swearing in.
Okay.
Then they did opening arguments. Now it's the Senate side.
Yeah. The government does everything laborious and takes.
You know what I hate about it?
Mm,
And it drove me away from the television when the Democrats were doing their part.
mm,
I hate their opening statements.
really.
Because it seems so empty and so
Mhm.
it's just posturing after posturing after
Yeah.
posturing, not really saying anything. And
Mhm.
I think they use up good time that they could be questioning and
Yeah.
you know
They're not allowed to.
seeing witnesses and all that kind of stuff.
I
And
think that's what they're working towards.
And before
now.
they ask 5 questions, they give you a 15-minute monologue
Yeah.
on what they think. Well, come on,
It's like preachers doing remarks at a funeral.
why not
All of the-
why not let the leader of the party, whoever of the committee, make the opening statement for the people,
Yeah.
and you spend your time asking the questions that are going to make a difference.
That makes too much sense.
They're
Okay.
not allowed to.
They're not.
What do you mean they're not allowed to?
They're not allowed to. They're only opening statements that have to be uninterrupted. Just opening
Yeah.
statements is all they can make until they go. The Senate has done their part.
No, you're not following what I'm saying. When I watch them, each person that's going to ask a question has a 10-minute monologue that they have to
Sure.
make. Yes.
When they're questioning the witnesses.
Yeah, I'm 68, but I know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
but
Okay,
they
so
don't have any witnesses.
but here's my problem. The people are sitting there when they do this. They make the opening statement, then they ask the person questions. Why not just start out asking the person questions and not doing all this fluff up front? I hate it when they do that.
That's why I don't watch it.
It's a waste of time.
I'm like, just get it over with. Just
Ask the question.
It's going to be what it's going to be. It's managed
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, managed outcome. So Zion came on this week.
yes. And
He
played
was
good.
very impressive.
Very.
And then he came out another game and was impressive again.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to leave the boy alone. He's been this size. This is how he is. They said the same thing about Barkley when he came in.
Shaq.
They said the same thing about Shaq when he came in. Said the same thing about LeBron when he came in. They're too big, they're too this, they're too that. Is it possible that God put them together like this, and this is how they're built, and this is how they play?
Yeah. And same time, I mean, his knees might go bad. You see a lot of smaller guys.
They're gonna
all
go
that
bad.
jumping, their knees gonna go bad too. It's just
If you ran playing on concrete, asphalt, basketball courts for the first 20 years of your life, your knees are going to take a beating.
no matter what size you are.
I don't care what size you are.
Yeah.
You know, who's the guy from that I call Potato Chip from Camden?
Potato chips.
Yeah, he just breaks all the rows.
Rose. Okay.
He breaks.
From Chicago. Yeah.
Chicago. He just
Yeah.
breaks all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I call him Potato Chips.
And you know, he's actually playing good this year.
Well, yeah.
He is quietly.
And everybody's just waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to play a whole season without getting hurt?
Yeah.
Is it possible to play that kind of game at that level for that long,
Yeah.
and your body not feel the deteriorating effects of
Yeah.
it?
And from what some trainers were telling me, that all these new types of training tips,
Mm-hmm.
they're good for making you more agile, but they're not good for your joints.
Well, because they're not building joint, they're not building tendon strength.
Right. Yeah.
I don't believe.
Mhm.
I think you have all these. Why is it you've got all this innovative workout strategy, and you have more catastrophic injuries than you've ever had before? Achilles tendons. You didn't hear about all this stuff
No.
back in the day
No.
when the workouts were simple.
Yep.
When they dealt with tendon strength, muscle strength, and did the things they were without the equipment that they have now.
Yep.
Julius and those guys were running on Converse All Stars,
Mm-hmm.
which means you were basically flat-footed,
Yeah.
barefooted, running down the court.
Mhm. Yeah.
These guys, man,
Yeah.
you know, they got to ban a shoe because it's making you run faster.
Yeah. And you saw the one guy. You saw his Achilles pop
Mm-hmm.
when he went down. It was nasty.
It's not a nice look.
Yeah. But that old school working out
Long
term,
seem to work better.
still works better.
Seem to work better.
Yeah. Now, I mean, these new ones make you more athletic,
Mm-hmm.
but the question is long term.
Is it helping your body stay strong?
Yeah. Because I remember the polymetrics wave was
Mhm.
huge
Oh,
until
my
everybody's
goodness. Yeah.
knees started
Started
getting
going crazy.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe you need to be doing all that.
Yeah.
I get it. You know, let's see how high you can jump.
Mhm.
But does that need to be a part of every workout that you
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, that's something you do. You include it in, but not every week.
It's
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
You don't got to do burpees every single time.
No.
Yeah.
And how did Herschel and who's the other guy? The guy that had the hip problem.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. Those guys use regular weights.
Yep.
Herschel's whole thing was push-ups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's still strong as an ox
Man,
too,
because
man.
them push-ups work. Doc.
Yeah. Now he out of his mind a little bit. But
He's not a little.
but he's
He on vacation. Push-ups work.
They do.
You know, tendon strength, muscle strength, joint strength, endurance.
Yeah.
One simple
Yeah.
exercise.
Get your core strong. It helps
Everything, man.
legs. It helps
Everything. But you know,
I know.
sit-ups and push-ups is what they used to make us
Yeah.
do,
Basically, yeah.
and they work.
Yeah, they do. They do.
So, all right, now, Prince Harry
Mm-hmm.
and Sister Meghan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's gonna stay.
With him? Why?
Because the fairy tale part is over,
Okay.
and I think the fairy tale,
Mm.
you know, and I know,
Mm.
in the business we're in, a large percentage of people are really enamored with the ceremony,
Right.
but are not so much in love with the actual institution.
Okay.
They loved a couple minutes with the dresses and the
Yeah.
processions and the,
Yeah.
all that stuff and the
Mhm.
cake afterwards and
Mhm.
the honeymoon, but the ceremony is not the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And you see some people actually come out of it. I've counseled people, they come out of the ceremony
Yeah.
thinking that the atmosphere and the feeling of the ceremony is going to be perpetuated
Right.
in the actual institution.
Right.
So you find people that are in love with the ceremony
Yeah.
but don't want much of the responsibility goes along with the institution.
Right.
And I think the ceremony
Mm.
and all its glitz has worn off.
Okay.
It's like you being famous,
Mm.
but not liking the benefit. You like the benefits,
Yeah.
you don't like the responsibilities and the requirements. You don't like
Right.
being recognized walking through the mall.
Yeah.
You want people just act like you're not there when you want them to.
Right.
But if you have something,
Right.
you need them to act like you really
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you know, we like the perks,
Right.
but we don't like the responsibility.
Right.
I'm not sure. Sister girl,
Yeah.
because she doesn't have a kingdom to give him.
He gave up a lot.
A lot is an understatement.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
on the flip side,
Okay.
I kind of don't blame him. Here's why. Here's why.
You been a prince lately?
No, but here's why. No, hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
We're talking supposition. I've never been a prince before.
We are.
Okay.
But here's why. He's never seemed to be that into it. So the question is,
He's not?
he's benefited from it, but he went to the army when he was young.
You call that a benefit?
No, wait a minute, hold on.
Okay.
Hear me out real quick.
Go ahead.
Just hear me out.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just,
Okay. No,
I'm just he's always seemed to be, his older brother seemed to enjoy the royalty part more than him. He's always been
Okay.
the outsider, the loner,
Mhm.
went to the army, doing his own
He's
thing.
always this
out
fair.
of it.
He'll never be king.
Who? Yeah, but he's never seemed to be that into it.
I get it.
So can you fault him
Yes.
if that's not his thing and he wants to do something else with his life?
I'm going to say something. I think it's
Because
gonna
maybe that's not important to him.
I'm going to say something that I think may make a difference.
Mhm.
He's in a position to make the decision.
Yes.
He's in a position to have had everything and decide, I don't really want this.
Yes.
But he's benefited from it.
But can we fault him for that,
His
though?
entire life.
But can we fault him
Here's
for
the
that?
problem I'm having with
Yeah.
it. He is in the position
Mhm.
to reject it, but he's benefited it while he's rebelling against it.
Right.
He's been, watch this, he's been benefiting while he's been rejecting
Right.
it. And I don't think he's really been rejecting it. I think he's just decided, I can't have my own identity
Yeah.
folding into this lifestyle.
Okay. Yes, sir.
But I'm going to benefit from it every step of the way.
Yes.
Now,
Mhm.
the proof to me was that their indulgence of him had given him a sense of entitlement.
Right.
Is when he thought he was going to do this
Mhm.
and keep the money.
Yep.
Okay.
And grandmom said,
No.
that ain't how this works.
Right.
You don't want any part of this.
Mhm.
You're not going to benefit. We're not giving you 5% of the revenue,
Right.
so you can tell the world you don't want any part of it. That's what
Yes.
people that are spoiled want to do. I
Right.
want the benefit,
Right.
but I want you to let me do whatever I want to do.
I agree with.
Okay.
However,
Okay.
I do agree with that. But how many times have we seen parents try to guide their kids in a career direction
hmm
that they don't want to do?
That's not a career.
But I mean, but I'm using that as a principal example.
Mhm.
That the child later grows up and finds their niche and finds what they want to do, and they succeed in that area because that's where they feel like they fit. When the parents try to make them be something
I
that
think
they're
we're talking
not.
about apples and oranges.
Okay.
I think that you can say your whole family is doctors.
Yes.
You want to be a race car driver.
Right.
Now, two motivations.
Okay.
I don't want to do what the rest of y'all doing, and I want to do something totally opposite of what
Yeah.
we do. All right?
Mhm.
Now, but you don't have to become a race car driver and reject your family legacy at the
Right.
same time.
Okay.
You can do both.
Okay.
Okay? So my problem is he's giving up something she can't replace.
Right.
And
Mm.
unless she's special,
Yeah.
and she looks special to me when I look at her.
Yeah.
She looks special to me when I look at her. Okay. I've counseled thousands of
Yeah,
people,
I agree
looked
with
into
you.
thousands of people's eyes.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
She doesn't look like, now that the fantasy part is over,
Yeah.
I want to see if she's in love with
Okay.
just being Mrs. Harry.
So let's take it to another place.
Okay.
No, it's a little deeper there.
Okay.
His view of this thing, whether it was her or another woman,
Mm-hmm.
based off what happened to his mom, he probably
Okay.
would still have the same response.
He might.
Unless the woman was strong enough to say, you know what, I'll deal with it, I'll take it, and I'll stay in there.
Mm-hmm.
But he may be the one saying, I'm not going to let her, either whether it's Meghan or any other woman,
Mhm.
go through what my mom went through.
I get an overreaction based upon
Okay.
his mother.
Yeah.
I get that Diana, I'm talking about his mother, Diana.
Yeah, Dinah, yeah.
I get his overreaction,
Mhm.
but I also get the fact that his mom was trying to find her own way
Mhm.
in the midst of a very traditional, very structured way of living.
Mhm.
And what I found out for myself and for others and for historically,
Mhm.
the institution does not lose.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
You know,
That's true.
when you're riding down 295
Yeah.
and a bug decides it sees your automobile
Mhm.
and decides I can fly through this windshield,
Yeah.
the institution
Oh,
wins.
yeah. Mhm.
So I'm saying, I hope she
Yeah.
stays.
Mhm.
But what would be a tremendous disappointment for him was to be the rebellious child,
Right.
have the benefit of the kingdom,
Mm.
give up the benefit, and she decided, this is too much publicity for me. And because to me, what really was geeking her was that whole princess thing.
Okay.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
You know, that wedding was internationally
Mm.
photographed. Thousands of people, Rolls
Yeah.
Royces.
Yeah.
Who has one like that?
Right.
Okay, I'm sitting there just shaking my head. Yo,
Yeah.
how much did the dress cost? You know,
Mhm.
and they
Yeah.
he did a lot for the wedding to make it inclusive.
Yeah.
You know, black choir singing and
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
at a royal wedding,
Right.
black preacher and
Right.
royal wedding.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But the other side too.
Mm-hmm.
So he finds a woman he loves.
Absolutely.
She happens to be African American
Mhm.
or black, whatever, you know.
And knowing full well that many times that love is based on, in many people, rebellion.
Okay.
I'm not only gonna be a rebel,
Yeah.
I'm gonna love rebelliously.
Mhm.
Wow.
What do you mean by that? I'm trying to get the
I've,
concept in my head. Sorry.
I've seen a lot of counseled a lot of couples
Okay.
where whatever the interracial nature was,
Mhm.
some of it was rebellion against their own context.
So you think he married a woman of color to rebel against?
I think if you look at how long he's outside the lines, and this is not something you sit down and think about.
Right.
He's an outside the lines kind of guy.
Yeah.
So what's more outside the lines
Mm.
in a kingdom that has racial strife than for him to decide,
Mm.
I'm gonna date someone like this.
Mm.
And I think he can choose every once.
Right.
But it all fits to me in the context.
Yeah.
My problem is I hope she stays. And I think he could have done two things. He could have kept his position, kept his revenue, not rebelled against his family, and kept her too.
Okay. We'll see. That's the hard part because from what I hear, we have a member here. She went to college in London
Okay.
for a while,
Mhm.
and I asked her. I said, "Is London and the British, is the racism that they talk about?"
It's intense.
She said it's horrible.
It's intense
over there.
It's intense.
It's intense here.
But the difference is like here it's more
More what?
out front. Theirs, from what she was telling me, because
Mhm.
ours is more just you can see it blatantly.
Do you think it's been out front all these years?
Who our racism?
It's just gotten out front again.
No, I'm talking about in the United States. Racism
Yeah,
is
I'm
like
talking about-
blatant. We've been seeing racism forever.
Yeah, but it had a subtlety for about 30 years.
Well, we saw it.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Okay.
We even what they saw subtly, we saw as glaring.
Mm-hmm.
But she said it was bad over there.
It is.
And they're calling their babies a monkey.
She didn't know
They did
that.
to
They're-
Michelle Obama.
I
He-
know, I know that.
She
But
did that to President Obama.
But Michelle, black people. Now Megan's from Canada, right?
No, she's from Los Angeles.
She's from Los Angeles?
Yes.
But I mean, it goes
She's
to-
from round the way.
it,
girl.
it goes from different things. I mean, Michelle Obama's in a certain situation. Plus, Michelle Obama has a certain poise.
What situation is
Yeah.
Michelle Obama in?
She has a
She's
certain
a black woman.
She's a black woman.
in a country that is racially
Yes.
insensitive at
Yes.
times, and they proved it while she was in
Yes.
office.
I'm talking about you're comparing Michelle Obama. To
I'm not.
Meghan.
You brought her up.
No, I'm talking about no. She brought her up.
Okay.
She is that. I
You're
mean,
talking
throwing at
about
you
the
like that.
subtlety, right?
But I'm
yeah,
talking
but
about-
but it's not.
I know.
It's just as.
I think it's
blatant here
overt.
As it
Yeah,
is over there.
but I'm saying like what I'm saying.
You're saying that the racism in England is more subtle than the racism here.
No, I'm saying like I'm not saying that it's like just flat out. They just hide it over there. What I'm saying is a little different. Here's the difference.
I don't think it is hidden.
Here's the difference, right?
Yeah.
This is what I was reading about. Somebody brought this up a couple years ago.
Okay.
The difference between racism in the United States versus racism over in Europe,
Okay.
right, is that it's somewhat the same, but it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
The United States is used to having different nationalities, different colors.
Right.
From the very beginning, even when whites came over here, you had the Native Americans, whites, blacks, so on and so on and so.
Okay.
For years,
Yeah.
Europe was strictly these small places, right,
Mhm.
where it was just one color,
Okay.
one group of people.
Okay.
And then you have all these immigrants come in.
Okay.
And now their perception is we have a history of just us being here. And y'all coming to take over, y'all coming in here. That's why they
Okay.
look at immigration so
Okay.
intensely compared
Okay.
to ours.
Okay.
So when they have one terrorist attack, they're ready to get rid of all immigrants.
All right. Now let me.
Brexit.
I'm glad you brought it up that way.
So imagine the Native Americans doing that when everybody came over here. but they had the power to stand up
Mm-hmm.
and really continue to shape things the way that they want it to be.
All right, let's move it up to now.
Yeah.
All right, so United States of America, as long as I've been alive,
Mhm.
has had pockets,
Right.
just like they had in Europe.
Mhm.
Now the pockets are urban centers.
Mhm.
So now we've got a nation that has pockets for its immigrants,
Mhm.
the immigrants of color.
Mhm.
So I don't see a significant difference between Europe and its pockets and the United States and its pockets now.
From I can't remember the name of the documentary I watched, but
Mhm.
from what they're saying, what they were saying, the guy made total sense when he said it.
Okay.
The difference is in America, you saw an evolution of these pockets become accepted. So let's look at the Italians.
The pockets became accepted.
Let's look at the Italians and the Irish, right? When they came over,
You can't divide the United States like that. We're divided by hue.
this is true. It's true.
Okay.
I mean,
They always had the hue.
I was going to evolve into that part.
Okay.
That they came in, not the same persecution,
Mm-hmm.
but they had the little Italies for a reason, Irish Town for
Mhm.
a reason, Germantown for a reason.
During
because,
the immigration
yes,
phase.
and then they eventually evolved over.
Absolutely.
Right? African Americans, we've had a different type of story.
Couldn't phase in.
Yes, not totally.
Couldn't phase in.
From what I hear over there, that phase in is way more intense.
Well, I don't understand why the intensity is seen different when I have been in debates on a national level and said out loud, maybe I shouldn't have, that the plantations were the urban centers.
Yes.
And I called it plantation because the conditions in those centers are acceptable to those outside those centers as long as they stay in the center.
Okay.
Okay, so to me, I've been in their invisible fences around neighborhoods. You don't come out, we don't come in.
Okay.
Okay, so to me that is a sophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
What did they call that thing that they used to? Reservation system.
Okay.
Okay, own economy, own this, own that.
Right.
You know, police force that's accepted there, kinda.
Sure.
So I'm getting us back to
Yeah.
this thing. I think that yes, she might have dealt with a more intense
Right.
feeling racism,
Mm.
but I'm not sure that we're not in an era now where this thing is so out front
Yeah.
that we ought not be concerned.
Sure. No, I agree with you on that one.
You know, because it's out front now.
Sure.
You know, I'm hoping they make it fine, but I think he knee jerked.
Okay.
I think they could have sat down and talked about this thing.
Sure.
Look, this is who I am.
Right.
It's almost like he's giving up who he is.
Right.
The rebellious one, but still a royal.
Sure. No, I get your concept
Yeah,
of what you're saying.
yeah.
I see where you're.
And how long is he going to be happy with
Right.
that?
Yeah. Because I mean, he might grow up, get a little older, and say, "Yo, I messed up.
Mhm.
I should have stuck with it."
Mhm.
But at the same time, if he lives his life and he's fine with his decision,
Mhm.
I can't fault him for doing what he feels like is best for his personal
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, because
It just seems to flow along with
Okay.
I'm the left-handed guy in the
Yeah.
right-handed kingdom.
Yeah.
It just seems to flow to
Mhm.
me with that whole, you know, I'm gonna if everybody's supposed to be at dinner at 8, I'm coming at 7 or 9 because I'm the one
Purposely rebelling,
I walk outside the line. I color
Yeah.
outside the lines
Yeah.
all the time,
Yeah.
and that seemed to be just the way he developed.
Yeah.
Into this guy, if they were going left, he was going right,
Right.
for no other reason other
Yeah.
than
Okay.
I'm going right. And I've had this conversation with you. I talked to some young people recently, and I asked them about their decision making, and they said that the top priority in making a decision was not the result. The top priority was them doing what they wanted to do. So in that concept, I
Yeah.
said, so you're telling me
Yeah.
if the result is negative and it hurts you, that's not the most important thing.
Right.
No, the most important thing
Yeah.
is that I did what I wanted to do.
Do.
Even if it hurts you,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
And then I asked him, I said, does this sound reasonable to you when you say it out loud? He says, no, it doesn't.
That's insane.
But they admitted it to me.
Yeah.
And if you watch the decision making, you see it.
Right.
That's the I do it all over again crowd.
Right. Okay.
Not because of the result, but because it was what I decided to do.
Okay. Now let's take the flip side of this, right?
Okay.
Say he stayed,
Okay.
and it wasn't his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Should he grow up and spend the rest of his life rich and miserable? If that's not his thing,
Mm-hmm.
or should he eventually say, "Look, I love y'all,
Okay.
but this is what I feel like my life purpose is."
Does
I
he
have to
know what
pursue
miserable
this."
is?
I mean, I can't sit there and say for him.
Does he know?
I don't know.
He got too much food, too big a house.
But we're looking
too
at it
many
from our
cars.
standpoint.
No.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Yeah.
that when you're at times,
Mhm.
it is not until certain people gain wealth
Yeah.
that all of a sudden they don't like the wealth that they've been benefiting from.
Sure.
You don't hear an impoverished person
Mhm.
talking about that about poverty.
Mhm.
I just want to, I enjoy being poor and not having enough, and I'm just not going to paint outside the lines.
Yeah.
I just want to stay this way.
I'm gonna give it up to be rich.
Yeah, I'm going to give it up to be rich. I'm going to abandon who I am, and I'm tired of these this one bedroom, 5 people in it.
But we're making
come
the
on.
assumption that he's going to go back. He's going to go to poverty. What if he makes a
No,
lot
we're
of
not.
money?
No,
another
you missed the
way?
illustration. We're not
I
talking
know
about
what you're talking about, but I'm just saying.
I'm saying
Yeah.
that I feel as though it's like the Michael Jackson syndrome.
Mhm.
I love being number one in the world.
Mhm.
I like being the top rock and roll person of all time. I like selling the most records of all time. I love all that. But I hate the fact y'all recognize me on the street.
Mm.
For real, Mike? For real?
But here's
So the folk that's buying your stuff, you don't want them to recognize you.
but if you have
Mm-hmm.
his level of fame,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like when Michelle Obama went to Target for the first time in a long
Yeah.
time. She said it felt so good
Mm-hmm.
just to walk through a grocery store
Absolutely.
and have some sense of
Absolutely.
anonymity.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you're literally Michael Jackson, you have people, when you're at a hotel, they're camping outside of your hotel. Do any of us have that same amount of popularity, fame,
the
fortune?
fame brings that with it.
And I agree with that. But
You can't go on you can't go on $7 million shopping
Yeah.
sprees and
Now,
get
that was-
upset
that
because
was- that was crazy.
people are waiting for you outside wherever you are.
that was insane.
It's part of being a celebrity.
So let's look at it like this,
right.
With our level of
Mm-hmm.
stuff,
Mm-hmm.
we both feel like at times where I just want to be somewhere where nobody knows who I am,
Okay.
right?
That doesn't last long.
It doesn't last long. Even if it's 5 minutes, I just want to go somewhere and just be
Mhm.
like, wow.
But
you know,
are you upset with the people that recognize you?
no, I'm not mad about that.
You're not upset about it, right?
I'm not mad about it. I'm not talking about being upset about it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, at a sense, you can understand he wants to be able to walk outside and just be like, yo, the world is cool. Even for 10 minutes.
Right. But then you want to go back to your life.
And then you go back to your life.
Right.
Mhm.
But what I'm saying is
You
that
don't-
he had nowhere to go
you-
anywhere.
If you become worldwide
famous.
celebrity,
Yes.
then the world becomes your stage in your
And
neighborhood.
I agree with that.
So is it I'm going to do everything I can to wreck this, or am I going to learn how to manage as good as I can?
Yeah.
Having this popularity and notoriety, but also keep enjoying the benefits of what it's doing for me. Because here's my problem.
Mhm.
It's difficult for me to conceive.
Mhm.
All right, much smaller scale.
Sure.
Much smaller
Mhm.
scale. No comparison at all. You and I go to a convention.
Right.
And you laugh about the fact that in the convention centers,
Yeah.
I can't go 5 feet
Yeah.
without a picture, so and so, so and so.
Yeah.
Do I always feel like that?
Mhm.
No. Have you ever seen me give that impression to anybody
No.
that we run into? All right, because I believe people don't have to recognize
Absolutely.
you. They don't have to say, "Ooh, can I take a picture?" They don't have to do that.
Absolutely.
So I see it not
Yeah.
as an obligation.
Right.
I see that I see the people that are buying the tapes
Right.
and buying the
Yeah.
books are recognized.
That's true. Now, let's take Michael Jackson. Now, he's an
Okay.
extreme example.
Yep.
Because, him and Beyonce are like a rare example.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember one time Beyonce was walking through the crowd, I think at a award show.
Okay.
Somebody grabbed her hand.
Yeah.
She looked at her and said, "Get off of me."
Mm-hmm.
We have people reading us, doing stuff like that. Michael Jackson walked through a mall. If he had no armed security police, they would attack him.
Well, of course.
I mean, literally, out of excitement, jump on him.
Goes with what you're doing.
And I agree with that. But so there's a certain I appreciate y'all enjoying me, but there's also a subtle level of, yo, I could possibly not make it through this crowd.
There's boundaries that you have to set, which is why you have security. Which is why when we're together, you don't walk 10 feet from me. You're right.
I'm right there with you
in case something happens. And I'm always watching. But the reality is that it goes along with, if I hadn't written Healed Without Scars, there's a whole audience, a world that wouldn't know me. So, you know, when people walk up to me in an airport with the book in their briefcase and say, "Can you sign this?" I don't feel inconvenienced. You bought my book. Okay. So I don't, why they can't they just leave me alone? The only time I try to be anonymous is when I'm on an airplane. So, but if I pull my Bible out, anonymity is over.
You know where I maybe seeing it differently is, I'm looking at the intention of the person. Maybe I'm looking at how we would see it.
Okay.
Our intention of sometimes wanting to be alone is not, we don't see the public notoriety, people saying stuff as a negative.
Right.
So I'm assuming that the person's coming from a positive place of, you know, I don't mind talking to y'all. I want to greet you guys, but can I have like 5 minutes? Right?
Okay.
Versus, I think what you're saying is some people have that, I don't want y'all to bother me at all.
And I don't choose to to try to have one of my minutes in an international airport.
Right. No, you can't do that there. You can't have that there.
Or at the mall.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not the place to choose to have the minute.
Yeah.
The place to have the minute is when you get to your room and you're by yourself and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, you go down to the end of the hallway, get a soda, come back. Nobody's bothering you. But when you go into a public arena and you have a level of recognition, people want to, and mine is nothing like some of these other people.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I don't see the people that support you as an inconvenience.
They're not.
But some people that I know do.
That I agree with you on.
We've
That's
had preachers here who told me, can we just eat off to the side? I don't want to deal with them. They've never been back here.
Now, that's wrong.
They've never been back here.
That to me is atrocious.
It's stupid.
But then, I mean, but again, Michael Jackson's a rare example. Most of us haven't been famous since we were like 5 or 7.
No.
So he's been in the public light for all that
The whole
time.
And part of his upbringing was a little dicey.
A little.
You know, I'm being generous.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I don't think they prepared him for that part.
No.
Because they weren't prepared for that part.
And look at all, I hate to say it, somebody brought it up, the only Jackson child that's somewhat sane is Janet. If you look at the outcome of all their lives.
That's pretty, that's
That's why I said somewhat sane.
Yeah, I'm glad you used the word somewhat. Let's talk to Jonathan. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning. I hadn't been able to call in several weeks in a row here, but I wanted to tell you, you came to mind 3 or 4 or 5 times this week because of Ephesians 4:11.
Okay.
They've given to some apostles. He has given to some apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers. And I got to say, from listening to a broadcast, I don't know, a week, 2 or 3 ago, your teaching, your pastoring is so compelling that people just don't want to call in.
That's what everybody says.
Is that what it is?
They want to keep listening.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you are a real pastor teacher.
Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, Billy Graham was an evangelist. You know, I've known some prophets, but you are a real pastor teacher that is very unique. I've known a lot of preachers, pastors, whatever, but you really care about the people, understand how to explain to them how to think differently.
Okay. Thank you, John. I really appreciate you saying that. You know how much respect I have for you.
Oh, great.
Yeah, great. I appreciate it. How you been, man?
Pretty good. Actually, great.
Doing good?
Doing great.
Are you a sports fan?
Not so much.
No. Are you a Super Bowl fan?
Yeah, I like to watch a good football game.
Yeah. Who you choose? You got to pick this year? Or you don't care who wins?
Don't have a pick. Don't know.
I don't know who I want to win either. I'm just going to watch the game. As long as it's a good game. Finally, if we have a good game, it'll be good.
Right, just like a good game.
Yeah, man. Tell everybody we said hey, man.
Okay, very good.
Talk to you soon.
Nice to talk to you.
Thanks for the compliment.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
They enjoyed that discussion.
Did they?
I kept it
866-743. I saw you. 866-743-8267. 866-743-8267. Give us a call. This is On Point, the number one Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. Did we use the whole hour already?
No. It's 9:46.
Oh, my.
Can I do an announcement real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead.
On this coming Tuesday, everybody, at 8 p.m. and 9 p.m.
Okay.
on Facebook as well as on YouTube, we're going to replay the first Bible study of the year that we did.
Okay.
We discussed vision.
Okay.
On Tuesday at 8 o'clock, that Bible study is going to replay. And then at 9 p.m., Bishop and I just did a taping yesterday continuing that discussion on vision.
On vision.
So on Facebook page, on Bethany's, go at BBC of NJ on Facebook, as well as David G. Evans 1,
Okay.
8 p.m. and 9 p.m. on this coming Tuesday. Watch our first Bible study of the year. That was part 1, and then a new part's coming out this Tuesday at 9.
Break it down a little bit. Tell them why it's significant, especially as it relates to vision.
Okay.
Some people may lock into, we're talking about vision of the church, we're talking about personal vision.
Personal vision, yeah.
You know, and how that works.
Yes. So we're going to talk about personal vision. I think the concern that we continued to bring up was that vision fulfillment doesn't come just via miracle.
Right.
Miracles are a part of vision fulfillment,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of fulfilling your vision requires work, endurance, faith, relationships, making the right choices.
Mm-hmm.
So our goal is to take the mystery out of the process,
Right,
and give you practical tools on how to set goals, set your vision, and then go through the process to
Yeah,
fulfillment and
yeah.
execution.
And I think the thing that I would suggest is that they pay close attention to the conversation, because the answers are in the conversation.
Right.
We're not doing number 1, number 2, number 3.
Yeah.
If you listen to the conversation, get engaged, the answers are going to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
You'll hear answers to the questions you've been feeling.
Right.
The unspoken questions, but they're questions that we feel sometimes that we can't articulate. We hope we're going to answer during this process.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's working out.
But you're right. It reminds me of what's the book that we talk about financials for?
The
The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yeah, Richest Man in Babylon.
It's like a regular
You
conversation.
can miss it
Yeah.
because it's a story.
Yeah. Yeah, we're literally telling the story.
Yeah, it looks like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
And if you miss it,
Yep.
you'll miss the amazing principles in the story.
Absolutely.
I'm excited. We're getting ready to pre-sell
Okay.
our latest book called Elevate.
Yeah.
And the pre-sale is going to begin Sunday.
Good. Nice. Okay. Good.
The book is going to retail when it comes out for a little under $20, like $19.99.
Okay.
We're going to pre-sell it at $14.99.
Sweet.
And everyone that buys the pre-sold book,
Mm-hmm.
when they receive the book in the mail, will receive an autographed copy. It'll
Nice.
be autographed
Okay.
ahead. You're going to get a major discount
Okay.
plus an autographed copy
Nice.
if you do the pre-sale. I believe.
Can they?
Yeah.
They can order it through the website, David G. Evans.
They'll be able to order it through the website starting Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
David G. Evans, and through Bethany's website.
Oh, good.
Huh?
Bethany for Sunday.
Bethany for
Just
Sunday.
the Bethany
Ju-
site for Sunday.
what happened?
Programming didn't happen on the David G. Evans side, like I explained to you on Friday.
Okay. So, all right.
Just be on social media,
Okay.
linking you back to the bookstore.
Okay. Let's go. Yeah, what we got?
So So go to Bethany.com, purchase the book, and can we those of us that come to service Sunday?
Yeah, we're gonna
We'll
sign
have somebody
people.
down
Yep.
there. Okay, good. So
Yolanda's gonna be down there Sunday.
Sunday. Okay, good.
Yep.
So in service, and come to church tomorrow if you're in the area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're
Come on,
continuing
come on.
identity, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
The conversation tomorrow is going to be extremely enlightening.
Good. And it's going to continue through February?
Yeah, we're going to go into February.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Now we got Danny on the line. We got Rodney Harris on the line. Thank you for wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you. Ava from New York. Let's go to Danny on line 3. Hey, Danny, how you doing, man?
Good morning, Bishop. Good morning, Pastor Nate staff. How's everyone today?
Everybody's good, man. How's sis doing?
She's doing great, recovering from the cold blast that we had Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. I heard it was cold down there.
What was it, like 50?
Yeah.
No, it was the 30s and 40s, right?
Yes, that's correct, Pastor Nate. It was in the like 40, 45, 49.
Oh, my
somewhere
goodness.
in there, and man, it was terrible.
The iguanas were dropping out of the trees.
Yeah, everything. Were they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that cold.
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
dropping out of the trees.
Dying?
Yeah.
They were dying, right?
no, they go into like a comatose type of state, and then
I thought they were.
If it's a long period of time, they will die.
I thought they were dead. They were just sitting there, just laying.
Just laying there on the ground?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you guys had to pull out the electric blankets and stuff?
The good thing about it, I did get a chance to turn the air off.
That was good. That was good.
Had to turn the heat on.
They turn the heat on.
No, that's right. Most of y'all don't. They don't have heaters. They say a lot of the houses don't have heat.
No.
My mom went down there, and the hotels didn't have heat. They only had air conditioning.
What?
Yeah.
You build a house without heat?
There's no heaters.
What?
There's really no need. You want to stay cool.
I can't take it. I can't take it. No heat in the house.
But Bishop, I was passing something on to Pastor Nick, and Monday I was all excited. I was going to the celebration of Martin Luther King here in Fort Lauderdale, and as I was lining up, watching the parade as they started the procedure and what have you, and I heard the people started booing. I said, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I'm looking down the road to see what's going on. And so I see some people, they start charging into the middle of the street. So I said, well, let me go down and see what's going on. And so there was a white Rolls Royce.
Okay.
And they had some people that was in the vehicle, and then they break out these signs. And they started waving these signs, and they were handmade signs. They weren't the type of parade signs. You could see that they were made in a hurry. And when they had the sign said, then they had two people that were carrying a banner.
Yeah. What did the banner and the sign say?
It was a professional-made banner. It said, Republican Party. Now, the people that were carrying the banner, they were white.
Okay.
But the people that were carrying the handmade signs, they were black.
Okay.
The sign says, Blacks for Trump, 2020.
At a Martin Luther King rally?
Yes, at the parade.
Oh, my.
So, like, most of the crowd, they started booing. So I had to talk to the younger people that was there. I said, look, whatever you do, don't say anything, just back off. Because they were beginning to charge the vehicle. I said, back off. I said, this is what they want you to do. Because when I looked around, I saw some people on the side. They were photographing and what have you. And then all of a sudden, the news media disappeared.
Really?
Yes. And so, I mean, like, I was in this had taken me way back, Yeah. And I said, not, I thought all of this was done with,
no,
this trickery and what have you.
It's not
so
done.
Basically, what they were trying to do was excite the crowd to get somebody to do something. I said, pass the word down, Whatever y'all do, don't do anything.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. Don't get angry. Vote. Go ahead and vote because I can see it coming. And if you look historically, Fort Lauderdale has always been the place where they do trickery with the votes.
Wow. Thank you, Dan.
Okay.
Tell my sister I said hey, man.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Bishop.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you. All right.
Rodney!
Hey, Bishop, how are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rodney Harris. If you don't know who he is, he is one of the finest voices in gospel today. Sing can sing the phone book. Just sing anything, and it sounds good. He sings songs I don't like and make me like them.
Right.
Happy birthday, Bishop.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. You doing all right?
You too. Yes, sir.
I saw you in your work clothes the other night.
What'd you say?
I saw you in your work clothes at Bible study the other night.
Bishop, I had pneumonia for 2 weeks.
What?
Wow.
I had caught the flu, and then the flu turned into pneumonia. So I was out of work, and I was home. I've never had pneumonia before, and it really took me under.
Yeah.
And they said I had pneumonia in my lungs, and that was the first time I was able to come to church. Was on that I had went straight from work. I said, look, I need to go to church,
man,
and I just wanted to be at the service, and the message and everything was great. It spoke to right where I was right at the moment.
Wonderful.
So I just thank you. I just wanted to say I appreciate you, sir, and I love you. You know I love you.
Yes, sir.
And Pastor Nick.
Yes, sir. My
I
man.
just wanted to say happy birthday to you.
All right. Thank you, man. I'll see you soon.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye. Ava.
How you doing today, Bishop and Pastor Nick?
We doing better now we're hearing from you.
Yeah.
You know you should. You know I just left it alone. Happy birthday, first of all.
Thank you.
I was calling because you were saying like how you're not inconvenienced when you go out and,
Right.
and stuff, and like people about want you to sign their book and everything. And I said like even no matter how the level of your popularity, quote unquote, in a certain area, like when it gets to be like Pop Warner and stuff season, walking out the door that somebody's gonna bother you because I run the Pop Warner up here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's 200 kids deep, which means it's about 400 adults.
People know
I
you.
can't get through a Walmart without a kid like, oh, Coach Ava, oh, da, da, da. You
Yep.
know it. So some days when you really I ain't in the mood for it, you kind of just stay in the house because you're like, I don't even feel like going out today. But when you go out, you got to have that face on. That's like if somebody comes up to you, you already know what's going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to prepare yourself walking out the door. All right, and it's made me better as a person. I don't know about other people else, but it makes me better at first because I notice that people are always watching.
Absolutely.
As soon as they know your name, people always watch.
Absolutely.
So now I can't be cussing people out when they cut me off in the road because the kid in the car next to me is probably on my team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it holds me to some sort of accountability. Not saying, because sometimes I need that person. Everybody might be, more religious than me and they can handle it by themselves. I can't handle it because I'm quick to start yelling at folks.
Okay.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? I'm keeping it 100.
How's everybody doing? Okay.
Everyone's doing well. Do you ever do team focus, like this identity thing that you're doing? I really like it. I found that my 11-year-old, he struggles. We're listening to it and we're following it on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
We're behind because we can't do it as often as you actually have your services. But do you have one that's like going to be team focused?
Pastor Nick does a lot of that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I need Pastor Nick's schedule because if you're doing something in the summer, I'm going to bring all 6 of these brats down there.
We are, but we're planning on now doing more online content.
Yep.
For the teams.
For the teams.
Oh, that'd be great.
Some discussion groups.
Here, I would still come down there. We got to get down there and so they can act up with y'all team.
Take the class you did and do like an online podcast on.
Yeah, we're planning some stuff right now. We're strategizing about it right now.
Yeah.
That'd be great. And I, just put a lot of advertising on there. I follow you on Facebook. But I have 6 teams in my house, and they range from 11 to 15. So,
my.
Lord,
no wonder you go off. No wonder you go off cussing every now and then. I'll talk to you, Ava.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Let's see, we got Robin and we got Bishop Anthony. And Robin and Bishop Anthony, we're at the end, so I got to take 30 seconds for each of you. Hey, Bishop Anthony, how you doing?
His Grace. His Grace.
Your Episcopal Eminence.
Yes.
Good morning.
I just called. Actually, listen. This is gonna be part of your gift right now. I'm gonna let you talk about my football team. I'm not even going to try to fight back. Here you go. This is the gift. Go ahead and unwrap it.
That's the privilege for your birthday to talk about a team when I'm arguing back.
Why would I want to spend my Why would I want to spend my time talking about them cheating low down losers that he? Man, you ready for tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. We getting ready to go.
All right.
Talk to you. Bye-bye now. What am I doing? Robin.
Good morning, Bishop. Just wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you, Robin.
I was calling. I kept getting a busy signal.
It was full up. We're going off now, right now. We're going off the air right now.
Yeah, so just happy birthday.
Thank
God
you.
bless you with
See you
many,
tomorrow.
many more.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
This has been On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. So glad you joined us today. Thank you for our listening audience. Thank you for our viewing audience worldwide. Now, remember, faith acts like a thing is so even when it's not so, that it might be so. Why don't you come see us tomorrow? Come on down to the Plaza, 8 and 11 a.m. We're doing this incredible series on identity. We believe it'll make a difference in your life for the rest of your life. Stay strong, stay saved, and we'll see you next week.